Dapplets provides tools for embedding Web3 applications into any web page without getting permission from its owner. It is a fully decentralized, permissionless, open source, and crypto-aware Web3 platform following the ideals of free web, and now we are using BOS-components to do that. Existing BOS gateways are typically standalone websites that render BOS components. We created a new one that runs inside Dapplets browser extension and works on the basis of already existing sites. Here is the problem statement. Currently, any social network-based project has some entity with complete ownership control over the community. The owner can extract almost the whole value for himself or some mighty third party, even if the community creates the most value. The ownership structure should be redesigned to create a fairer benefits distribution to the community's favor. We're trying to solve that by creating a new technology called Mutable Web, which brings the decentralization of BOS components to a new level. This technology allows any user to create a mutation of a page in a permissionless way and offer it to the community. The community can accept it as the default version of the page. Here is how we do this. Before this hackathon, we implemented an application that illustrates the use of a new type of BOS gateway running on existing sites. The application uses BOS components and provides the ability to sell content on Twitter by extending the functionality of tweets. We will use this application to illustrate the new principles of interface decentralization that have been developed within BOS hacks. As part of the hackathon, we implemented a mechanism for replacing BOS components in the application. Let's take a look at how it works in this application. This component consists of 3 subcomponents. On the first level, we have a container component. The second level is a picture holder. The third level contains buttons. In the improvised inspector on the left, we can see all components available for replacement. Through it, we can replace any component in the application, both internal and top level. For illustration, we have prepared a component called override. Here's what it would look like. Now let's break down how it works. In order to get the ability to swap components, we forked the BOS virtual machine that renders the components. We added the ability to pass a configuration object with data about components that should be changed and a list of replacements. And we have also implemented a registry smart contract in which these overrides are stored. It is written in Rust and is publicly available on GitHub. This is a sample code of our Dapplet. Here you can see that we import our custom BOS virtual machine and the widget to which we pass overrides. Using that, the user can define a set of component that overrides and create an altered version of the website in his browser. We called it mutation. The mutation can be offered by the user and accepted by the community as a default version of the website. That is implemented through DAO. Let's illustrate how this could work on the example of 3 users. Each user has their own account and browser. Let's imagine that the first user wanted to change something. In the example, we will simply change the color of the button, but in reality, changes can be of any degree of complexity. To override a component, the user opens an extension, finds the desired component, and forks it. Once on the component page, the user makes a fork and changes the color to red. The user changes the name of the component and deploys it in his namespace. Now that the new component is ready, in order to replace it in the application, you need to fork the main community mutation. To do this, you must specify the name of the new mutation and its description. Now the button component is changed to the previously prepared one. You can check the result of the substitution before submitting the mutation. As a result, there is one override changing the button in the mutation. Let's submit it to the contract, to make it available to use. Here we see the contents of the transaction describing the change of components. Let's reload the start page to see that the mutation is loaded and displayed in the dropdown. We can switch back to the main mutation approved by the community. After the mutation was stored, anyone could share it using the mutation URL or propose it to the whole community for use per default. From the extension, the user copies a link to the mutation to pass it to proposal. For the BOS Hacks demo, we have created a mutation managed by AstroDAO. Mutation proposal contains a mutation URL in the description for a more straightforward proposal review and the smart contract call. Let's describe what the proposal is about and submit it. The proposal has been created. Now let's imagine ourselves in the shoes of other users. This user already has the extension. This is why when the user clicks on the link, they immediately see the applied mutation with red buttons. The user likes this change, so they vote for the proposal. We see that the vote has been accepted. Let's move on to the third user. He has no extension installed, so the mutation URL will display an interim page asking to install one. This page shows the user which version of which page by whose authorship they will be viewing. Once the extension is installed, an automatic redirect to the landing page with the mutation enabled will be performed. Let's say he liked the mutation too and voted for it. There are only 3 participants in this DAO, so 2 votes are enough to finally accept the proposal. Our proposal got enough votes and DAO made a transaction to accept the mutation into the main branch. Now all users coming to Twitter will see a red button by default. We can see this with all 3 users. So BOS as a technology offers the creation of new sites and communities. We propose to bring BOS-based applications to users in already existing sites and communities while maintaining decentralization and user independence through mutations. In this way, neither the website owner, nor the mutation owner can't get excessive control over the community because the community can always escape to some mutation if the owner misbehaves. The owner becomes one of many service providers for the community. The community can vote to place a tag on a selected mutation or just follow the most used mutation. This way community can create special BOS components to add new functions, services, and workflows where needed. All this could be implemented in a decentralized and permissionless way, fully aligned with the paradigm of the free web.